inquiry, and you have called for meaningful change. The final report can be the blueprint for that change. We encourage you, if you choose, to keep speaking up to ensure that positive change happens. As a reminder, when we refer to participants in the inquiry, we are including those most affected individuals, the families, governments, first responders, and organizations including advocacy groups. We want to thank all participants and their counsel. You have all played a critical role during the inquiry, and your many submissions and contributions have been instrumental in helping us to learn and to prepare our recommendations. We heard you. Please know we heard you. Now the final report is ready. Please continue to be champions of implementation. We also thank the many other people who have contributed to this work, including emergency responders, witnesses, roundtable members, commissioned report authors, community organizations, the media, service providers, members of the public, and every member of our commission team. The quality and breadth of the final report reflects all your incredible contributions over the last 2.5 years. We could not have done it without all of you. Now that the final report is here, we call on you to continue stepping up so that the great harm caused by the mass casualty can be transformed into great hope and great good for our communities in the future. Commissioner MacDonald will provide some concluding remarks as our Commission's chair. Commissioner MacDonald.
Thank you, Commissioner Fitch, and thank you, Commissioner Stanton. It's been truly an honor to serve with each one of you, and I know you feel the same. To all of you joining us today and to all Canadians, we are pleased to share the Mass Casualty Commission's final report. It comprehensively responds to every aspect of our mandate. It sets out what happened. It sets out our findings and how and why things happened as they did. And it provides a future-focused recommendations that when implemented, will change our country for the better. It is a substantial report and a comprehensive roadmap to a safer Canada. Please take the time to read it to reflect and determine how best you can support its implementation. We recognize that this is not the first report to make findings and recommendations like these. But with all of your help, it could be the last. Let me repeat that. With all of your help, it could be the last. Prime Minister Trudeau, Premier Houston, all premiers of provinces and territories, all municipal leaders, police leaders. Commissioner Duhaime is here. We very much appreciate that. Right on this stage, to my left, Commissioner Lucky gave this commission an undertaking that she would champion our recommendations, and we feel that that ought to be considered an institutional undertaking and rely upon you, Commissioner Duhaime, for that. To community-based organizations and all of you, this is a blueprint to transform community safety in this country. This is a blueprint that can make Canada a world leader when it comes to community safety. This is a blueprint that, when implemented, it will establish that those wonderful, dear lives that were taken on April 18th and 19th would not have been taken in vain. Those lives cannot have been taken in vain. That cannot happen. Future acts of violence are preventable. if we have the will to do what is necessary. Ce n'est pas le premier rapport à faire ses conclusions et ses recommandations, mais avec votre aide, ça pourrait être le dernier. Les actes de violence sont évitables si nous avons la volonté de faire ce qui est nécessaire. Turning the tide on the underlying causes of violence in our communities will take courage, it will take commitment, and it will take collaboration. It will take the courage to admit that we face a set of interconnected and complex challenges, which means we must resist the default to simple answers and impulsive responses that have failed us all too often in the past. As a country, we need the commitment to keep going month after month, year after year, making steady improvements and sustained efforts to shift entrenched values, fix broken systems, and make violence prevention our guiding star. Most important of all, it will take collaboration from all Canadians, including leaders, policymakers, first responders, service providers, public institutions, community groups, and members of the public. So we are relying on the various offices, the Prime Minister's office, the Premier's office, all levels of government, police leaders, all police leaders, chiefs and leaders, relying on you to do right by all those whose lives were taken, and to do right by all those who remain suffering in heartache. Surtout, il faudra la coopération de tous les Canadiens, faisant de la prévention de la violence notre principe directeur. By working together, you helped us develop meaningful, practical, and sustainable recommendations for the future. Now we call on you to implement them and make our communities safer for everyone. We all have a lot of work to do. It's time to act. Thank you. Merci. Namoltis.